Hello, dear yogis. So we're here today and we're going to do a 30-minute class. And so thank you so much for joining me. I know I haven't put out as much content as of late, but I'm going to try to get some more content out there to you. So this class is just going to be kind of a healing, or at least just validating and acknowledging the grief that we've all gone through in the last couple of years. And of course, not just with COVID, but with all sorts of the war that's happening right now and all sorts of other things that have happened that have just added up and produced kind of this, either like the feeling of burnout or grief, because, a lot of us have lost people, have lost opportunities, jobs, lost our excitement about life. So this class is just kind of about sitting back and acknowledging that we've been through some really hard times and giving ourselves just some love and healing. So we'll try to do some heart opening poses, some forward folds, because those are great for anxiety, and just kind of a variety of nurturing poses. But also I will get us moving a little bit, because movement sometimes can help with stagnant energy and just to move and feel better in general can be healing. All right, so let's come to our mats. So we're going to start in a cross-legged position, just getting settled into this moment and settled into our bodies and the present. So whatever happened before this, just let go of that. And whatever is, being planned for after, just take a break from all of that thinking. Take a break from all that chatter in your mind. And at some points I will ask you to think about your losses and what you're grieving, and just for the sake of kind of being present and remembering why we're here in this class. And so in those moments you will have some thoughts, and then letting those go and coming back into your body when I cue you to do that. So starting with a deep breath in through your nose, and letting it out through your mouth. Taking your hand and placing it on your heart, your right hand on your heart. And then you can put your left hand over top of that. And this is just a self-compassion, kind of loving type of pose. Kristen Neff talks about this in her meditations. Just soothing your own heart with your own hand and telling yourself that you're there for you and that you're going to take care of you, and that things have been hard and that you're exhausted, but you're going to do your best to nurture that child inside of you and to have compassion for yourself. So keeping your hand there on your heart, just feeling the soothing touch of your own hand, and knowing that at any moment you have the ability to take care of yourself. Inhaling again through the nose. Exhaling. Long breath out. We'll take one or more of those. And exhaling, breathing out. Now you can take your hands and remove them. And we're going to come up into a all fours position. So let's get moving a little bit into some really yummy movements that'll feel good. So just tucking your tail a little bit and making sure your belly is engaged. We're gonna do some cat-cows, but we'll do them in more of like a free flow manner. So inhaling, you can look up, chest up, belly falling down, and then exhaling, pushing through your hands, tucking your tail and tucking your chin, rounding your back, and then keep going at your own pace and your own breath, and making whatever movements feel good for you. So on the inhale, looking up. On the exhale, you could come back into child's pose. Inhaling up into cow. Exhaling, rounding back into child's pose. So that's one option. I really like this one. You're getting that just that gentle movement back and forth, soothing for your nervous system. Inhaling, opening up your heart, even though it's painful. Exhaling back into child's pose, feeling grounded, calm. You can also kind of do some figure eights if you want, so just moving your body in like a figure eight motion if that feels good to you. You can also do some hip circles if you want. Whatever feels good in your body to wake it up, to make it feel good. Deep breaths in and exhaling as you move back into child's pose or whatever you're doing. And then after one more breath, I want all of you to join me back into neutral position. And then taking your hands a little bit farther forward in front of you, walking them farther forward, and then just sinking your chest down. You might have to walk them a bit farther forward actually. Sinking your chest and your forehead down to the mat. We're in puppy pose now. And for this pose, you want your hips to be over top of your knees. So you might need to adjust where your hands are to get that shape. This should feel really good and should be opening up your shoulders, opening up your heart. Releasing some of that tension in your back. Breathing here, letting it all out. Good, and then when you're ready, come on up, bring your hands back. We're gonna go down onto our belly into Sphinx pose. So Sphinx pose is where your elbows are bent at a 45-degree angle. And this is another heart opener. Okay, so it's a bit of a back bend here, but it's really subtle. So as you push your palms into the mat, you're opening up your collarbones and you're pushing your heart forward through to the front of the mat. So sometimes when we've had a lot of trauma or we're grieving, the first tendency is to close our hearts and shut down because it hurts too much. And that's going to come to backfire on us eventually as things build up. So opening up your heart, opening it up to that loss. Seeing if you can sit with that for a moment. Good. And then when it's too painful, or when you've had enough of that heart opening, let's push back down into a child's pose. So child's pose is always healing, grounding, calming. Your heart's still open, but it's protected for a moment, right? So when we're trying to process loss and grief, coming in and just being really present with it is good. And then backing off a little bit, right? Just so we don't have to do it all at once. Great. Coming up into all fours again. Let's push back into a downward dog. Just a really nice, flowy kind of downward dog. So have your knees bent if you need to. Palms are pushing into the mat. And your tail is reaching towards the sky. Breathing here. Moving back and forth, pedaling through your heels, or waving your hips might feel good. Awesome. And then when you're ready, you're going to walk baby steps on up to the top of the mat. And come all the way up. Arms extend up to the sky, reaching up. And then letting that go. Good. Just going to adjust my mat a little bit here. Awesome. All right, so we'll just stand in mountain pose for a second. This is another pose that's really grounding. So feeling your feet grounding down into the earth, almost like they have roots coming out of your bottoms of your feet. And then as your feet are rooting down, your crown is lifting up. So there's these two divergent possibilities here. So rooting down, being stable and grounded, and lifting up at the same time, light and open. So we're working towards that duality of grounding down, being strong, and then also that lightness, or that feeling of being open and easy. All right, so from here, we're going to do a little bit more yummy heart opening, and we'll get moving a little bit more, okay? So let's do some full sun salutations just to warm up before we do some of our standing poses, because we have started off very slow here, and I wanted to do that for a reason. Just coming into the space slowly sometimes is good for your heart and your mind. So inhaling, arms up, reach up, and exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. Let's exhale right back to downward dog, okay? And then on the inhale, we're gonna come to plank, and we'll hold plank for 4 breaths, feeling strong, grounded, and stable, knowing that whatever loss you're facing, you can get through it. You do have the resilience. Good, and then exhaling back into downward dog again. Good, taking a mini break here in downward dog. Excellent. And then on your inhale, walking forward. And halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands behind you, clasp them, and just bring them over for a nice shoulder stretch. And then on your inhale, coming all the way up, release your hands and bring them up and stretching towards the sky. Exhaling, hands to your side. All right, we'll go a bit faster on the next one. Inhaling, reaching up, and exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, going into plank. One breath here. On the exhale, coming down, chaturanga. Inhaling, little cobra, and exhaling, downward dog. Awesome. Walking up to the top of your mat, and then halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. Inhaling, reaching up, and exhaling, hands to your side. Awesome. Let's take our right foot and step all the way back into crescent lunge. And instead of lifting our arms up into a regular crescent, we're going to clasp our hands behind our back for a heart opening pose. So inhaling, open up your chest, look up, and breathe here. On your exhale, feel yourself. You may be settling into the pose a bit more. On the inhale, opening your heart. Exhale, settling in. And then unclasping your hands, bringing your right hand down next to your left foot and opening up for an easy twist. Reaching your left fingertips up to the sky and feeling your heart opening up. Good, and then exhale, come down, put your left hand next to your foot, and then scooch I'm gonna grab my block, scooch your left foot in between your hands, and so now we're in a runner's lunge, okay? And then from here, on your inhale, we're going to gracefully and slowly push up and move into warrior two. Beautiful, so your back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And just gazing over your left fingers. Inhaling and exhaling, sinking even deeper into the pose. And then straightening your left leg and opening up into exalted warrior. One breath here. Good. And then coming back up, arms in a T. Bring that left foot closer to the right one. Sorry, scooch up your back foot. And then we're going to go into Trikonasana. So inhale, reach to the front of the mat. And then exhale, lower down. So shoulders are stacked. Side of the waist is long. And if you want to look up at your right hand, you can. Or just looking down at the mat if your neck is too sore for that. Good, one breath here. And then coming back up, arms are in a T, and you can let the arms go. So bringing that front foot, left foot, and facing the toes now forward. So both feet are facing forward, toes can be in even a little bit. We'll go into a beautiful forward fold just to release all of that. You can have your hands to your hips, or you can clasp your hands behind your back again and do another like shoulder opening stretch, whatever feels good to you. So inhaling, looking up, lifting your chest up, and then exhaling, forward fold. And you can have, like I said, have your hands clasped behind you. You can also have your hands just settling on your shins or on the mat. Inhaling and exhaling, fold Just feel that nice release, a little break in between the poses. On the next inhale, tuck your tummy and come on up. Good. And then both feet can come to the front of your mat in a mountain pose. We're going to do a half sun salute to rinse that out, and then we'll go for that sequence on the other side. So inhaling, lift up, reach up, and exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, halfway lift, and exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, coming all the way up, reach, 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 reach. Keep your hands lifted, and actually keep your right hand lifted, take your left hand down to the side, and then we're just going to do a side stretch here. That feels really good. Okay, switch sides, so right hand down, left hand up, and then just moving over to the right side. Excellent. Okay, so let's do the sequence on the other side if I can remember what we did. Honestly, I'm just totally free flow tonight. So actually I'm going to come to the top here, the other side, so you guys can see me. There we go. All right, so let's see. Yeah, okay, I'm remembering now. So left foot coming all the way back into our crescent lunge, right? And then instead of doing the normal crescent lunge, we're going to do the heart opener. So clasping your hands behind your back, opening up your chest, opening up, that collarbone, throat, trusting that you're going to be taken care of by your family, by your friends, your chosen family, by yourself, that you're going to be taken care of by your animals, all of the people that love you in your life. Okay, great. Now I don't remember what I did next. Okay, so inhaling, arms up to crescent, and then left hand comes down to the right foot, next to the right foot. We're going to go into an easy twist on this side. So I might be out of sequence, but I will eventually get to all the poses that we did on the other side. Good, so opening up that chest. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Good, so now placing your hand back down on the other side of your foot. I'm just going to use blocks for this one. So now we are in our runner's lunge. God only knows what I've forgotten. In our runner's lunge, feel that opening in the hips. Yeah, the hips hold a lot of emotions, right? So, hips and heart. Good, okay. So on the next inhale, we are going to come up into a warrior two. You can adjust your stance, whatever feels good to you. Just gazing over your left fingertips. As you're breathing in, you might feel yourself lift up again, and then as you breathe out, you're settling in. Inhaling and exhaling. And on your next inhale, straighten your right leg and come into exalted warrior. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Feeling that beautiful elongation on the right side of your body. And then coming up again, arms in a T. Take your left foot and bring it closer to your right one. I'm just going to drop my arms for a second. just give my shoulders a break. You don't have to if you don't need to. And then we're gonna make our way into Trikonasana. So taking your right hand and reaching it, reach to as far as you can. And then tipping over into triangle. So your hand might be on a block, on your shin, on the floor, wherever it reaches, so that you can still breathe and you still feel elongation on the spine, on the sides, sorry, and also your shoulders can be stacked on each other. Good. And you can always bring your hand to your back if it's too hard to reach up like that. This is a really good modification. On the next inhale, coming on up, arms in a T, and then dropping your arms and facing your right foot forward. If there's something I forgot on that side, please put it in the comments. That would make me very happy, because I'm going to be thinking about it tonight as I go to sleep, and it's going to keep me up. So let's do a forward fold, another forward fold for a break and just to release all of that work. So hands can come to hips, inhaling, opening our chest and our heart, and exhaling, folding forward. And keeping a slight bend in the knees so they don't lock out. Placing your hands on the mat. And then letting your head just dangle. You can just kind of give it a shake, just so you're not holding your neck muscles. Couple deep breaths here. Good. And then on the inhale, we're going to come back up, hands to hips, and then come to the top of your mat into a mat pose again. Let's do a couple balancing poses, and then we'll close with, we'll come back down into some more relaxation poses on the mat. Feel free to take a drink if you like. Okay, so let's do a tree pose. So sometimes life can be a bit rocky, and practicing balance during those times can be really a saving grace for us. So no, just take your left foot and plant it into the ground. Make sure all the weight is balanced evenly on all four corners of your foot. And then when you're ready, taking this right foot and placing it either on your bottom of your leg or bringing it up to the top, whatever is comfortable. Just make sure it's not on your knee. Good. And then bringing your hands to your heart. And if this is enough for you, stay here. And if you want to go one step further, you can bring your hands into some kind of position. I like to do like a kind of like a mudra position here. Good. So inhaling and exhaling, finding your drishti, gazing at something a couple of feet ahead, maybe on the ground that's not moving, or just straight in front of you, maybe the wall. Good. On your next exhale, slowly let go of all of that. Good. Shake it out. Ooh, shake it out. And then we'll go to the other side. So planting the right foot down, making sure all four corners are grounded in evenly. And then when you think you've got that balance, or you're ready and stable on the right side, bringing your foot either to your shin or up to your inner thigh if that works for you. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pushing your right thigh against your left foot. And then as you do that, you'll find that you have more stability there. So you're pushing against yourself, essentially. You are leaning on yourself. Okay? So bringing your hands up however you want, you can do like a little mudra where you touch your thumb and your first finger. You can bring your hands all the way up like tree branches. You can do goalpost arms. You can even take your arms behind you if you want more chest opening. And then quietly gazing forward at your drishti point. If you fall out, just come back in, right? Practice brings us closer to the strength that we need to face the challenges that come at us. Good, and when you're ready, you can release. Good, and shake it out. Ooh, 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 ooh. Awesome. Okay, I was just looking at the time. So because this is a half-hour class, we're going to wind down a little bit. So just coming down onto your mat again. And we're just going to do a few hip opening exercise stretches, and then we'll do we're going to do probably another back bend, so a little bit more hard opening. So come on down to your back, crossing your right ankle over your left knee. So this is reclined pigeon pose. You can flex your right foot and then taking your left knee and bringing it towards your chest. Maybe that's enough for you, but if you want to go even deeper, clasp your hands behind your left thigh and just give it a little bit of a pull as you breathe here. Feeling that release in your right hip. Letting go of the tension there. Letting whatever emotions come up. And then you can release that side. And go on to the other side. So left ankle and right knee. Bring right knee up. And then clasping behind your leg if that feels good to your body. Breathing into the space in your hip. Making peace with whatever you're feeling. Whether it's calm or annoyed, angry, tired, sad, accepting all of it. And then letting that go. With your feet on the floor, we're going to get ready to come into bridge pose. So this is a really nice, again, just opening for the whole front body, your hip flexors, your chest, your heart. So taking your heels and bringing them a little closer to your bum than maybe they normally would be. And on the inhale, we are going to inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to lift up your hips and your bum. And just lift them up as high as you can. And then if you want, you can take your shoulders and tuck them underneath you, clasping your hands behind your back. And just feeling that beautiful opening in your whole front body. Breathing here. Opening into your chest, hip flexors, belly. And then when you're ready on your next exhale, unclasp your hands, untuck your shoulders, and bring your butt down, little by little. Good. And then just take a breath here in this neutral position, letting everything settle. And then we're going to bring our knees into our chest, hugging them in, give them a squeeze. And then taking your arms out to a T and letting your knees fall over to the right for a supine twist. You can turn your head to the left for a full expression of that twist. Just letting everything now relax into the mat. Knowing that you've put in this time and energy and effort into taking care of yourself. You may not feel better in this present moment, but it will accumulate, and in the long run you will feel it. So inhaling, bringing your knees back up, and then letting them flop over to the left side. Oh. Letting out any kind of moans or groans you need to. And looking over to your right. Hi. My cat has come to join in the session. And breathing in to your belly and then letting it all go, feeling yourself melt into the earth. Great. And then bringing your knees back up, we are going to stretch out into Shavasana now. So just bringing your feet and your legs out. Your arms can come out to your side with your palms up. So just start to get relaxed in that pose. And I'm just going to come up and guide you through the last couple of minutes here of our practice. So as you're lying in Shavasana, just let your mind be still, letting go of any thoughts that creep in. Just feeling the weight of your body sinking into the earth holding you. Again, let's bring our hands to our heart, just to have some soothing self-compassion like we did at the beginning of the class. So taking your right hand and placing it on your heart, and then your left hand over top of your right hand. Feeling the warmth of your hands. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat. So much gratitude for these bodies of ours. Understanding that right now it's a really hard time for a lot of us. And even just to get up in the morning sometimes can be a huge challenge. And, getting ourselves to this class right now is amazing. We're so tired and burnt out that it's really hard to make the effort to take care of ourselves. And that's okay. It's okay. Just taking a few more breaths with your hands on your heart. Feeling the comfort and the warmth, even just for a second. And now taking a deep breath, letting that go, letting your hands go. Taking a deep breath in and sighing it out. And then slowly making your way up to seated. You can wiggle your toes, move your head side to side, roll over to the side, however you like to get up and into seated. I just want to thank everyone for showing up and for being able to give yourself some love and compassion, and knowing that doing even the smallest things for ourselves will eventually accumulate into feeling a bit better. And of course, there's so many different things that we can do for ourselves. So this is just one small piece, right? Other pieces are seeing a therapist, exercising, getting enough water, kicking an addiction, or going to an AA meeting and doing the steps, right? So there's just so many pieces to taking care of ourselves and seeking the healing that we need. And I think this is just one small way that we can honor ourselves and honor how hard we are trying, how hard we are working to keep pushing forward in a world that is really, to me, in pieces. So I thank you, and you should all be proud of yourselves. Namaste, dear yogis. And my cat says namaste too. Right, Garaki? All right. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and we will see you soon. Thanks for practicing with me. It means so much to me. Namaste.